Hello, everybody. Welcome to Out of Combat, the podcast for after our live streams that happen Friday nights on Twitch and YouTube, or if you're listening it to in the future on all things that are podcasts.
On all things everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. I am Moves Like Jagger. I play Captain Azric for Campaign 2. I'm joined by the Bunny Dreadful, the lovable Emmy, and our handsome person in real life and in game, Retro Spectre, who plays Hayden.
That's me.
This is us. Level 32, episode 32.
I don't think level 32 is a thing in D&D.
You can, yes.
Isn't it 20? Is it 20 max level?
There's epic levels. Yeah. You can go beyond 20.
I literally am just learning this.
Yeah, me too.
32 is pretty high. That's like deity level. Like you're basically.
So that's the level we're going to need to be to go kill your patron, right?
Yeah, because it's a God Killer campaign. I don't know how if that is or not, but
I kind of want it to be because that sounds badass.
Sounds awesome.
That would be sort of an epic. Like I'm just imagining we've had a ship upgrade and we got like a real legit ship, and the final battle happens way out in the middle of the ocean.
Well, it's like the battle with Ursula where there's like a giant whirlpool and we're like swirling around it, and there's like a giant god, and we have to like that'd be so cool.
I feel like if that happens at that point, Azric would definitely turn into a baddie, and you need to, in order to save Azric, you have to kill his patron. But Azric, you have to fight off Azric at the same time.
What if
no.
What if Azric semi-fuses with the deity? So he's like this. He grows in size, and it's like still visibly Azric, but he's got like tentacles coming out of his back.
Oh,
universe!
That's so gross.
He's like floating in the air like some weird demon.
I think we just you need to make a deal with another patron so that like they can protect you. So you're like you can be like, He
has another dude.
Yeah, Max.
That's
Max
true. He doesn't like them.
A choice. He gave me a choice, and I chose at the time was wisely, but maybe it's not so wise now. Yeah, but yeah.
I like it. It's very interesting and exciting.
We're gonna have a shopping episode, and it turned into a thriller horror episode.
Yeah,
it was intense.
Kudos to Max for putting together one of the cooler things I've seen a D&D game do.
Yeah,
and have like a legit tarot on screen, and then also like a Ouija board thing. Super cool.
Very cool. Like I feel like I'm just blown away by that. And he told us after that he was doing the tarot readings live, like for real, which is wild.
Yeah, like random draws and all that stuff.
I know Max is he's a Renaissance man. He's tarot cards, Ouija boards, acting, DMing, all that.
Writing. He's also a musician. Yeah. Not that he would share that ever.
We didn't mention the scene where Azric's patron interrupts the Ouija board and throws everything into chaos, and then Max's performance during that was pretty damn good.
It was intense. Like it was a little scary.
It was very intense. Especially it's like, blood is pouring out of her eyes, and I'm like, oh, shit is real.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy.
I'm sorry, Bun. Azric ruined you talking to your ghost mom. You're trying to get answers.
It worked out because I was so unprepared for that to happen. I didn't know what else to ask because I was so just like deer in headlights. I got the main questions I wanted to asked. So actually the timing could not have been more perfect. We don't know why her diary pages were taken. So that's the only thing that I was probably going to ask next, but I don't even know if that's important. Like, I don't know anything about that. I just got this. It's a random item I rolled for at the beginning of the campaign. I changed it to be her diary. So
it's kind of interesting. We're 32 episodes in, and we've gotten a fair amount of Azric backstory. We've gotten a decent amount of Hayden backstory. We've got snippets of Cooter. Almost nothing for Taj, and Emmy almost nothing. So there's still a lot of mystery about them.
For me, you know about my people. They live in a kingdom under the sea.
Yeah, we know that, but we don't know.
My mom's dead.
We don't really know what's going on with you.
Maybe I'm Azric's patron.
Why is Emmy running away from home and doesn't want to return, you know?
She said it today. She said she didn't want to be an archdruid on the council. And she asked if her mom would forgive her because she doesn't want to do it.
I was working towards that. I was going to say, that's like we've got a nice little morsel of that today of why Emmy spends a lot of her time on the surface instead of with her people. So
she also likes the surface. She is fascinated by everything on the surface. So
I hope we get a chance to go to her underwater city, village, place.
It's a city. It's a kingdom. It's hard to explain because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but kingdom is a good word.
It's not like misleading, right? Or
I don't want to say anymore. Okay, I'll say that we should go there because we have libraries there. So her people, when ships sink, they will collect the items from them. And they don't usually care about most of the items. Emmy likes the useless stuff. She'll collect all the junk. But her people collect the important stuff, not valuable. They collect the books. And they have magic that can restore the ink and the writing on the books somehow. So they'll collect these. So they have libraries. It's an underwater library. Because they don't like to communicate with the surface world. So this is the easiest way to learn about it, right? So that's why Emmy reads all these books. So if we go there, maybe we could research, if we need to research Azric's patron, if we can get a name.
Yeah. If we find out who they are, because Max kind of left us on a major cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe your people know.
They know about things that lurk in the deep because they're also warriors that defend. They defend right now. They defend the abyss, but inside the ocean. So the abyss is in the ocean. So they defend that part of it. Yeah. While there are people on the surface that defend in ships. What are they? The order? Not the order. The people in the first place.
From Rossadon, the Order of the Conservancy, I think.
Yes, they defend it. They don't let people go in there, but Emmy's people won't let things go in there on the ocean side either. They make sure that nothing happens.
Yeah, and even if they don't know exactly what it is, I find it hard to believe that there wouldn't be stories or legends about something.
Yeah, if it's an underwater thing, then I think so, right? Her people's sworn enemy would be something, they don't call it this, but for D&D nerds, it would be an aboleth. That's not what her people call it.
I don't know what that is.
You don't want to know. Trust me. If we've run into one,
news.
If we've run into one, then we've made a mistake at some point.
It's bad news.
If that's your patron, you know what? Good luck. I'm out.
I feel like if we went and they're like, why are you researching this? And then somehow it leaks that this is Adric's patron, they're just probably just oh, we have to kill him.
Well, we don't know because we don't know what it is yet. It says obey, but maybe it needs you to do something good.
Is that how warlocks work?
Not likely.
Well,
a lot of warlocks. Deities that are maybe they're not good, but they're doing ultimately something that's good for the world.
Most of the time, it's bad. Whatever patron they're serving.
The whole
most
angry,
of the time.
The whole angry obey me and also break your Ouija board doesn't bode well.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Making a seer bleed from the eyes.
Threatening to take your life away.
Yeah, take my power away, so I'm weak and dying again.
Well, you told Max gave you a choice. Were the choices between evil and good? Were the choices between?
But the bad one's you better not even think about the good one.
I had zero information on my patron coming in, and so the only options I had at the time was back a few. It feels how was it feel months ago now?
A year ago is what it feels like.
I was having that dream where I can go into the ocean, or I can go to the light, which is like super far. It's really difficult. It'll be a hard journey.
So
I was
you
like, oh,
you didn't have any like concrete idea for who your patron might be when you were doing like your backstory or anything? You just
when I
kind of
did
picked a
my
subclass and then
yeah, I just left it
Oh,
in Max's
cool.
hands.
Okay.
whoa.
And because
That's
when we were
trusting.
going to the gym together, he's like, how weird do you want this to get? And I was like, give me all the weird. I want it all.
Awesome.
And so far Max has delivered on the weird part. So
He's
like,
good at weird, apparently.
the visions he portrays while Isaac is dreaming is like super weird and creepy. Like, I love how Max is very detailed
Yeah.
in his descriptions and narratives. So it just like really, really pulls you in.
Yeah.
But yeah, you make this bad news for Azric all the time.
I want to know if we go back to her. Obviously, we can't bring Azric with us if we go back. But I want to know, is Hayden going to get his fortune read? Would Hayden want to try and speak to his mom?
So Hayden's an interesting case. Like being somebody with a sailing background, like every sailor has some level of superstition. It could be like it's something as simple as like before you cast off, you need to take a shot of rum or it's bad luck. To our bell is haunted. Like we have to get rid of the bell, sort of thing. Hayden isn't that superstitious, but so like mysticism and like speaking with the dead or whatever is not something he's really too interested in. He is a little bit interested in like doing a fortune reading, even if he might not buy it 100%. I think with all that's happened to him and with this new revelation that like there's people that like want him for either his status or his because of his father's status, or they just want access to like whatever money they think he has. And I think he's more interested in seeing if like maybe the fortune kind of lines up with something from his past or something from his future. Because right now he's kind of like with everybody else. Up until this point, he's never had anything like that ever happen to him. So he's kind of in the dark about like why now, and like who is actually behind everything. Because I don't think the cartel, as a player, I don't think the cartel is like actually the ones behind it.
They're like the middleman, right? They're doing the work.
Like I'm sure they're powerful and they have resources, but like somebody spent 200 platinum just to move a statue real quickly.
Yeah, and that's not random. That's not a random
cartels will not do that. Like,
yeah, that's an absurd amount of money, and that leads to me to assume that they think Hayden's estate has way more money than that.
Yeah, which is funny because all I put in my backstory is like his father owned a mercantile business and they were well off, but they certainly weren't like nobles. They didn't. I mean, imagine like somebody who owns a business that's like doing better than like a small business. So they live in like I don't know what you call like a McMansion or something. Like, it's a nice
it's a nice house. Yeah.
$1 million house or
like or something.
It's a good house, and they live on Osham, so Osham's like a pretty nice place.
Mm.
So.
But if it's the business was a front, and your father was actually like a notorious pirate that has amassed an insane amount of wealth and used the merchant stuff to cover all that up.
We have to find their hidden treasure.
Oh man, that would be super cool.
We're gonna find a hidden treasure from your dad, and then we're gonna kill a god. Everybody's on board, right?
But then, like, who would it be? The Conservancy trying to get at Hayden?
It could be a lot of people. We also it could be that they got you there to bring all of us to the island. So it could be they're targeting one of us. But we just don't know anything.
Well, the Holy Order's after arcane users, unless your father was like a arcane pirate captain.
Oh, I mean, most pirates are arcane in this universe.
Yeah, that's not in the backstory. I can tell you that. But
did you say to Max, "Here's my backstory, but can you make it weird like Moobs did"?
No, I gave him like a little bit of his family background and to kind of set up, and I was like, to make it easy on myself to give some sort of like drama to the backstory, I did the typical thing of like my parents gone, and I didn't specify how, only that they disappeared at sea. So I left that up to Max to like
the Frozen storyline.
Yeah. And personally, I'll give you a little tidbit.
Does that mean Hayden's also a Disney princess?
He's a bona fide prince.
Hayden doesn't know, like, the official story is that they were sunk by pirates, and Hayden doesn't necessarily buy that. And that's always, it's been one of the things that's been gnawing at him for a while. Like, he wants answers, and that's why when we were on Pilot Island, he went to that guy, that shopkeep, who said he had
the old salt.
Well, is this why Hayden is okay being part of a pirate crew? Because he's like, maybe if I like infiltrate this lifestyle, I can like learn more.
Well, maybe part of it was also he had nothing really going on.
He was also just bored.
Well, he was like in between jobs. He had done a stint with like a vessel, and his contract was up, and he was just in Rosedon doing nothing. And so when he saw that excitement going down, he's like, okay, we got finally something interesting is happening. And then I don't think he expected to get arrested along with you guys. But
none of us expected.
It was a mess. Yeah. What?
Really?
I'm glad Mac decided to go back to the fortune teller, because it was like a little bit that Max gave us. And we're and he then sent the message to Mac's mind, and then we're like, okay, whatever. And we kind of just went on our way. So I'm glad Mac brought that little bit back.
Yeah, I discussed that in a previous Out of Combat where we're like, man, I feel like that was a thread we missed, but that was like weeks ago at this point. So I'm glad, Mac.
I totally forgot. It was
and I didn't know that's what she was referring to. And she's like, I got a contact. And then when she's like, oh, it's the fortune. Mac, good job.
Oh, good. That was well played.
Oh, so would you rather get a fortune read or commune with one of your parents, and only to find out she doesn't commune with anyone because they're still alive?
I didn't think about that.
What?
I'm trying to look at it from the point of view of Hayden. I don't know if he would want to speak. I don't know what that would.
If he thinks they're dead. So it depends on if he thinks they're dead or not.
True.
That's true. That is true.
If he doesn't really believe they're dead, then he probably wouldn't do the seance.
Because he'd be like, what's the point? Yeah.
Yeah. Plus,
I mean, it would confirm things, but.
Yeah, and I think right now his more pressing concern is like what is going on with like who's after him. If he can get some insight from the fortune reading, or maybe it warns him to expect something. Again, he's not super into like mysticism, but he's at least interested in having that done. So
I'm excited to see what your fortune is.
Yeah, I was a tiny bit bummed when all went wrong, and she was like, "Get out." I was like,
sorry guys, I ruined the party because my patron decided to butt in. And
nah, it's okay. It's okay. That was probably a way more exciting thing that happened.
I think that's what I love about our show is that we don't really we kind of go in with a plan. Like, all right, this is what we're gonna like as the players. We're like, all right, here's what we should do this session, and then see what happens. And then after that, it's mostly improv. But
it's very yes and yeah.
Yeah,
very improv,
we thought we were just we're gonna make some context, maybe buy some magic items and try to figure out how to auction this tapestry, and then it turns into this like totally unplanned. So just really amazing that Max can kind of just react to what we're doing. Really good.
And to kind of tie a bow on this this episode of Out of Combat, Max did his Max thing and left us on an incredible cliffhanger for the next session.
Oh my god. I was like rushing through my mind what I was going to say next, and then Max was like, and we'll find out next time on Catchers a Kitch. I was like, oh my god.
It's insane. I'm going to be thinking about this all week now too. So like now all week, I'm just going to be like, is it freaking Friday yet? When are we playing? What is happening?
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see next time.
Yeah. If you guys haven't watched the last episode, I mean, you learned a lot from this one. So make sure you go get all caught up. You can find everything where you can find your podcast over on the YouTube. You can watch the VODs on Twitch. We're everywhere. And if we're not where you are, just let us know in the comments or in our Discord. Yeah. So thank you, everybody.
Tell us in the comments what you think is going to happen next. Do you think Azric's patron is evil? Do you think they're going to make us fight Azric? Do you think we should try and get him a new patron? What do we do? Do you think Hayden's parents are dead? Who do you think took Emmy's mom's journal pages? What was on those pages? What's Cooter's real name?
Oh.
No, that one I just made up. But yeah, all right, everybody. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.